warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day to madam. So for today, our group will be presenting the drama The Bluebird. So our team members consist of Hanis Afrina, me, Hanis,
and I'm Firdaus.
This will be our content for our analysis. We have 6 parts, including the conclusion, and then the group members, and the summary of the Bluebird. So the Bluebird is about the 2 children who find the bluebird of happiness. So they have the journey to find the bluebird, and then they travel through mystical realms like the land of memory, the palace of night, and the kingdom of the future, and they meet various symbol figures such as grandparents and also personified elements. And turn out the bluebird was in their home all along. So we will look to the journey and also like the elements in this drama. We will analyze this drama based on reader's response theory, and we pick up the ideas from the story and also the emotion that we can resonate as a reader. Okay, so the theme for this drama mainly is the search for happiness. So in the Bluebird, the theme actually shows that happiness is often found in simple things. So rather than shown in the show that the children went out in an adventure to find their happiness, it is actually in their own house. So in the end, they learned that the Bluebird was actually at home, in their own home the whole time, and showed that happiness is not something that we need to search for very far away, but rather it is often right in front of us in everyday moments and people that we care about, which we can dive in deeper later in the analysis. So the plot starts with the exposition, rising action, climax, following action, and resolution. So we're going to start with the upfront reading plot. So for exposition, it opens with these 2 main characters, Tiltil and Mitchell, the children of a poor woodcutter living with their parents in a simple home. And it is Christmas Eve, but they feel unsatisfied with their life, envious of the happiness they imagine others enjoying. So you can see that the context of this plot is very formal and objective. The fairy learned visits them, introducing the central conflict where she asks them to find the bluebird of happiness, which she needs to help her sick daughter, and they give Tiltil a magical hat with a diamond that, when turned, reveals that the true nature of things, and this object actually becomes crucial to the journey to the plot. So in Rising Action, it actually shows their journey on the 3 settings, which are the land of memory, the palace of night, the forest, and the kingdom of the future. So in this Rising Action, it actually concludes of all of the adventure and challenges in all of the settings, and it is very objective because it just lists out what they did and what were the challenges at the settings. For example, in the land of memory, they encountered their deceased grandparents and relive happy moments there. And for the palace of night, the children face the hidden fears and dangers of the night. While in the forest, nature comes alive, where the trees and animals turn hostile towards them, even the wild animals. And lastly, in the kingdom of the future, is a mystical place where unborn children wait for their turn to be born and what awaits upon them in the future. So for climax, it actually occurs when the 2 main characters return home tired and disappointed when they believe that they have failed the journey or the mission. But this moment actually marks the emotional peak of the story, where their sense of defeat is at the highest. And the dramatic tension reaches its highest point as the children confront the possibility that their efforts were all in vain, the challenges, the adventure they went through. So, following action, as they woke up the next morning, they discover that their pet bird, which had been in their home all along, is the bluebird itself and what they were searching for. And it actually brings them a realization that happiness was never something far away from them or difficult. So you can see in this plot, it is very objective based, where the readers are actually getting information from the story itself without including their own emotions and feelings. In the resolution, children must come to understand that happiness is found in simple everyday moments of life. So, next one is the plot for aesthetic reading. So the exposition, you can see that there are lots of uses of adjectives to actually explain and give you the image of how the situation was. So the play begins in a cozy but poor home, and children and Little's feelings of envy and dissatisfaction evoke empathy in the reader or us in the audience of the play. So the arrival of the fairy itself, who magically appears, brings us, the audience, a sense of wonder and intrigue. It relates more to the reader rather than being objectively sticking to the story itself. So, for example, in Rising Action, in their adventure itself, you can see in the Land of Memory, Palace of Night, Forest, and the Kingdom, it actually gives the readers or audience the feel itself. For example, in the Palace of Night, the dark, ominous environment creates tension and fear in us as the readers and the audience. So for the climax, the emotional weight of the climax is heavy when we as the audience can feel how disappointed they were when they think that they failed the mission, when in fact they actually didn't and the happiness was in their house all along. Which we can be seen in the Falling Action, the discovery that their pet bird is the bluebird all along. And this revelation actually shifts the mood in us from despair to joy as we can relate to them. Because we can feel the sense of achievement in them for finding their happiness that they were looking for.
Moving on, we are going to analyze the characters from both perspective and aesthetic and Afro reading. For the first one, first character, which is the main character, is Mitchell. From the aspect of different reading, from this perspective, readers might focus on the plot-related aspect of Mitchell's character. She is a young girl embarking on a journey to find the bluebirds, presenting happiness. From the aesthetic reading perspective, aesthetic readers will focus more on their emotional and imaginative experience of Mitchell as they read. They might connect with a sense of wonder, curiosity, and navigate and feel a sort of empathy as she navigates unfamiliar goals. Next one. The next character is Mitchell, which is Mitchell's brother. From the perspective of reference reading, readers in the first stance might focus on the factual role that Mitchell plays as Mitchell's brother and companion on the quest. They may note his proactive instinct, leadership qualities, and how he contributes solving challenges along the way to find the bluebirds. The reader may also pay attention to his greater realization, like Mitchell's, that happiness exists in the family. From the aesthetic reading perspective, readers approaching detail from an aesthetic stance will immerse themselves in the emotional journey of his character. They might feel frustration, fears, and excitement experiencing his journey as an emotional roller coaster. The light also plays a crucial role in this story because they also guide both sisters and the brothers to find their bluebirds. So from the African reading perspective, readers will see light as a guide and mentor to the children, offering wisdom and aiding them in their quest. The reader might focus on the symbolic role representing knowledge, enlightenment, and the guiding forces that lead the characters towards self-discovery. From an aesthetic reading perspective, the light as more than just a symbol. They may connect with warmth, her calm guidance, and her natural presence. Readers might feel comforted by the character as she presents a form of protection and understanding. The bluebird itself, from the African reader's perspective, they will focus on the bluebird as the object of the children's quest. They might interpret it as the symbol of happiness, noting that by the end of the story, the bird is found in the children's own home, reinforcing the theme that happiness is not a distant goal but found in the family. From the aesthetic reading perspective, the readers will engage with the bluebird on a more emotional and symbolic level. Feeling the significance of children's journey in their pursuit of happiness, they might emotionally experience the high and low of the search, the longing and eventual satisfaction when the bird is found close to home, as the bird is their beloved pets. The next one, or the last one, characters, which is the fairy berry. From the African reading perspective, readers will see the fairy berry as the initiator of the children's journey. Her role is more mechanical. She sets the plot in motion by giving the children the task to find the bluebird. The next one is from the aesthetic reading perspective. Aesthetic readers may experience the fairy as more than just a plot device. They might connect with magic and mystery. She embodies feeling wonder of intrigue and her character. They might also interpret as a symbol of life's unpredictability or as a figure that mirrors real life situations where people are nudged towards self-discovery.
Now we are moving to literary devices, or like the figurative language used in the play. The first one is irony. From African perspective, we see the children search for happiness in distant magical places, only to realize that the happiness they sought was within their own home all along. This realization adds complexity to the moral lesson as readers extract the idea or information that people overlook. The simple joys of life in pursuit of more distance and illusory goals. From aesthetic readers, they might feel frustration or empathy for the children as they feel like they cannot find the bluebird after the long journey. But after all, the irony leads to the readers to reflect that the moments in their own life where they often overlook something important, or like I said earlier, the joys within our range, instead of we find the distant goal or like the distant happiness that are out of our range. The next one is personification from African perspective. Light, night, and other personified characters help readers to understand intangible concepts like truth, fear, and guidance. By analyzing how these concepts are personified, readers gain a clear understanding of the moral and philosophical message in the drama. Light could be seen as comforting present, while night might represent fear of the unknown. Even they are something who is not the light, but we actually can feel the presence of them by we see how the light gives the present, like giving warmth to the character, and also how night represents fear of the unknown and giving like a sense of danger for both Turtle and Milton. These emotional reactions to personified characters enhance the immersive experience of the story, making abstract concepts feel real and tangible. The next one is symbolism. An African reader who will analyze the symbolic meaning of the bluebird and other figures like light representing truth or night representing fear. They may recognize how these symbols convey abstract ideas such as happiness, truth, and mystery, and extract these meanings for further reflection on the human experience of searching for fulfillment. The bluebird might from aesthetic perspective, the bluebird might evoke personal longing for happiness, making aesthetic readers reflect on their own search for joy. It's related to the irony elements in the literary devices, and light as a character may inspire feelings of hope and guidance, while night fosters fear or unease. The next one is foreshadowing. So we can see from the first and also like in the middle of the play how it actually showed early hints that true happiness might not be found in far off places but closer to home. This subtle suggestion prepares the readers for the resolution where the bluebird is discovered to have been at home all along. The average reader may appreciate how this device builds the plot logically and adds layers of meaning to the eventual discovery. And from aesthetic perspective, aesthetic readers may subconsciously sense the foreshadowing without consciously identifying it. This could lead to feelings of anticipation and curiosity as they wonder how the story will resolve. They may experience satisfaction when they realize that the bluebird is at home all along. And the last one is imagery. Effort readers focus on how the vivid imagery contributes to the narrative. For example, description of the mystical lands like the Palace of Night or the Kingdom of the Future provide concrete details that help readers to understand the abstract idea of these ideas present, because it would be hard for them to know about these places if not without the help of imagery. And from aesthetic perspective, aesthetic readers engage with the imagery or personal emotional level. Description of these magical lands may evoke a sense of wonder and excitement, while darker, more ominous imagery like the Palace of Night causes the feelings of fear or unease. Okay, next for the settings we have the Title and Winter's Homes, the Land of Memory, Palace of Night, Forest, Kingdom of the Future, and the Graveyard. So first to start, their home. So in our reading, we can say that this is the starting and ending point of the story, while in the aesthetic part where we relate to the reader, we can say that the warmth and simplicity of the home itself create a sense of familiarity to the readers, because we all have our own home and we can relate to that. And the second one, the Land of Memory, So, when we're talking about factual in the play, we can say that it's a nostalgic place where the children meet their deceased grandparents and serving as the highlight of importance of past memories. While for aesthetic reading, where we relate to ourselves, we can say that it stirs nostalgia and warmth as the children are united with the one that they love and the one that they can't meet anymore. So this is the beauty of reconnecting with people you love, but it's not with you anymore. And then the Palace of Night. So for every reading, you can say that it is a place of hidden fears and dangers and symbolizing the unknown where secrets and mysteries are kept here. But in aesthetic reading, where you can feel it, for us, it is the dark, mysterious atmosphere of the settings and creating a sense of unease and fear in the readers and the audience of the play. So this imagery actually helps us to feel the fear of the children itself when they were going on the challenge and adventure. And then next one, the forest. So the children actually encounter nature personified in the trees and animals. And the forest actually illustrates the dual nature of happiness, both welcoming and full of challenges. While in aesthetic reading, you can say that it is full of vivid life with trees and animals. So this setting actually will evoke a feeling of wonder and feariness because there is the wildness of nature that is both beautiful and threatening because it could be an adventure for people who are not familiar with the forest. And then the killing of the future, you can say that it is a symbolic setting where unborn children wait for life, representing the dreams and potential of the future. While in aesthetic reading, we can feel that the feel of awe and possibility for ourselves because we all have our own dreams and goals. So we can feel a sense of hopefulness, imagining the infinite potential for our life that is yet to come. And then the last one, the graveyard. The graveyard in the play actually shows a transformation where it transforms into a garden when viewed with new perspective, and it shows how death and life are interconnected and perspective can shift. While to us, we can relate that as something that is quite eerie for us because graveyards are often pictured that way. So it brings us a sense of surprise and wonder because what the children are doing there. So this shift in perspective actually makes us reflect on how beauty can be found even in eerie places like this, associated with sadness and loss, and provoking deep emotional reflection in us. Now moving on to the diction or like the descriptive language in the play. The first element will be the descriptive language. The simple yet symbolic language used to describe the magical realms such as the lands of memory and kingdom of the future, allowing readers to extract clear symbolic meanings. And from aesthetic perspective, the vivid descriptions of magical places such as the land of memory immerse aesthetic readers in a fantastical world, allowing them to feel nostalgia, wonder, or longing. Looking at the tone, the overall tone is reflective and philosophical, guiding every readers to focus on the moral message that happiness is found within the familiar. The tone reinforces the moral takeaway that something externally for happiness is pointless when it can be discovered in our everyday life. And from aesthetic perspective, the reflective and yet melancholic tone draws aesthetic readers into a deeper emotional engagement with the stories. They might feel a sense of sadness or joy as they reflect on their own life experience and also relating with the themes of fleeting happiness and forgotten memories. The character dialogue. The character's dialogue, especially between Tilda, Nita, and the guiding figure like, serve as direct lesson in the story. Every readers may analyze how dialogue functions to convey themes of self-discovery, with like representing wisdom and guidance in their quest for happiness. In aesthetic perspective, dialogue, especially between the children and symbolic characters like life, carries emotional depth for aesthetic readers because the conversation between them actually evoke feelings of hope, curiosity, and fear as the readers relate to the children's journey and the guidance that they receive from the life.
Next one is about how we can implement our lesson plan in our classroom. So the next one is the bluebird character rotate. First one is we are going to talk about the procedure. The first one is going to assign the roles, divide the class into small groups, assign each group different scene from the bluebird story. Each student takes on character's role, example as a bluebird, a child, a wise figure. Next one is script practice, provides students simplified scripts from their scene. Allow them 5 to 10 minutes to practice their line and action in their groups. Role play performance after practicing, students perform their scenes in front of the class. Encourage them to use gestures, expressions, and proper intonation while speaking their lines. This plan or this kind of activities is relevant in our test classroom because we actually can encourage the student how they can experience themselves, which is how they can understand the bluebird story. Next one is the find the bluebird activity. The first one, the procedure, pre-touch vocabulary, introduce key vocabulary from the bluebird drama such as forest, magic, journey. Search, measure, or using flashcard or visual aids. The next one is listening challenge. Hide a bluebird, toy or paper card up. Someone in the classroom, the teacher gives clues using target vocabulary. The bluebird is near the window. Take 3 steps towards it. Student participation. Students take turns following the directions and working together to find the hidden bluebird. After locating the bird, they can describe where they found it using the vocabulary they learned. As the reflection, have a brief discussion about the importance of listening carefully and practicing the new words. And the last one is about the conclusion of the drama The Bluebirds. In conclusion, analyzing the Bluebird 1908 using readers' response theory and the ideas of afferent and aesthetic reading, showing how readers can create a meaning from the text based on their experiences and influences, which is when the readers try to understand or try to read, they can actually delve deeper towards the drama and not just reading on the surface. Okay, from the reader's perspective, characters like Mintil and Titil the Bluebird are understood differently by each reader. Mintil's name may reflect personal growth, while Titil can symbolize responsibility to take care of his sister. The bluebirds, representing happiness, might mean different things depending on the reader's life experience. In after reading perspective, readers focus on the main messages and themes. They see characters as symbol, Mintil and Titil as growing children, like as guiding the bluebird as happiness. From the aesthetic reading perspective, on the other hand, focuses on the emotional experience of the reader's side. Readers feel the characters' emotions, Mintil's curiosity, Titil's memory, and comfort of life. Overall of this bluebird drama, these approaches show that the bluebird can be understood in many ways, depending on how readers interpret or engage with the story, whether they focus on the lessons or the emotion. This flexibility makes the play timeless and open to multiple interpretations. So I think that's all from us. So thank you.